Welcome back. This is Business Compass, and we're talking with Big Samps Market, otherwise known as Adra Agogloshi. So, which one do you want us to deal with first? Your customer, the marketing issues.
Yes.
Okay. So, Petra.
Okay. So you stated that one of the challenges you have is with the perception that your service is for the affluent, which is not really a problem.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of, except you are saying because there's a perception like that, it's limiting your reach to more customers. Is that the problem?
I feel now it's actually not a limit.
It's not a limitation.
Yes,
Okay, so we can bench that.
Okay.
But if that even comes to mind in terms of things that you think can be an issue, then we should address it.
Okay.
In terms of, think about what type of image do you want to give to customers when they see what you offer. And it's a very important thing that you know the why to what you're offering and how you're going to articulate that to your customers. So I see that you talk a lot about, when I checked out your Instagram page, which is very nicely laid out, everything is just on point on that page.
She's a digital comms person.
No wonder. So you do all the graphic designing yourself?
Yes, most of them.
Interesting. Okay. So you always project buy your groceries before you spend all your money, which was very interesting. But I didn't see you projecting.
Why that message though?
I think she's trying to show that you can save. Is that it?
And like we see a lot of sales at the end of the month and beginning of the month.
Oh.
So people do a lot of shopping
Maybe
around
they
that
plan
time.
it that way.
Yes. So and then it was Corona actually changed a lot of things. It moved us as a business. It shut us up. It made us know that we had a lot of things we were not checking. We corrected a lot of mistakes after that. And then so it was as part of the time, the season, you don't know when you don't have money. So when you get your money, as for food, you need it. So shop at the end of the month. The rest of the things, you can do it later.
Okay. But as you are talking, I see that you have created an image of a particular type of customer in your mind. Is this customer you're trying to sell to like you? Are they young? Have they just finished school? Are they so tied to their end of month budgets? Or are you looking at families with what you have to be able to define that so that your messaging is clear?
Yes.
So I got the sense that you're talking to young people who have
Because
very
that
tight,
messaging won't work for me.
yes, who have very tight budgets and have to go every month checking, making sure they
And
get
then there
that.
are also people, especially women, who bulk buy at a
Yes.
certain time, and it
Yes.
takes them over. So
Yes.
it's really about planning and
Planning, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then when you're trying to address that issue, I didn't see that you were projecting the issue of convenience and the time value of money.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't see those two.
Okay.
And I think those are opportunities that you can
Yeah.
explore. So instead of just thinking about buying now so you don't have to
Okay.
do it later, think about also how you project the issue of time value of money in terms of we spend lots of time doing different things, and food is important.
Yes.
But how do we do that? I know.
Petra, let me get you right. You're basically telling her that in all their marketing communication, they should be selling their value proposition.
Exactly.
That doesn't always come out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly. And then you won't have a problem whether people
Yes.
think it's an
Yes.
affluent service or
Because
not.
whether you're
Yeah.
affluent or not,
You need the
convenience
time.
is
Convenience.
important
It's
to
important.
you.
And
Everyone.
our slogan, our tagline is actually convenience at your doorstep. So I think we should be hammering on that.
Exactly.
more.
Exactly. And I noticed that you don't charge for the delivery. You're just selling the things.
We charge for delivery.
Yes, but you're charging for the delivery service.
Okay. I don't.
Okay. So if I want to buy a bucket of tomatoes and I go to Agbogbleshi, I might get it for 30 cedis.
Okay.
If I buy from you, you're selling it to me almost at the same price.
Yeah.
But
But
you
you're
have to
charging
drive
me-
to Agbogbleshi.
Yes, but I have to drive to Agbogbleshi. But you charge me the delivery service to bring the goods to me. Are you charging me a premium for the service that I don't have to spend my time
Yes.
there?
Yes, you pay for the service.
Okay, then
Yes.
that's a good model as well, because then you should be able to make some extra money on just making my life a bit easier
Yes.
for me. But you're
Not
not
a
charging
bit,
me.
a whole lot easier. If I don't have to go to Agbogbleshi.
I mean, and I was so wild yesterday because I said, okay, how is it that I don't know about this? How am I still making
could have
this
saved you
and
so
going
much
to-
trouble.
and so much of my life, because your time is actually part of your
Yes.
life. So really think about the segment of the market that you want
Okay.
to focus on. I think a lot of upwardly mobile middle class people would really buy into this.
Okay.
Stretch a bit, let
Okay.
the convenience come out a bit more.
And especially for the women who are always asking, how do you find work-life balance? This is how you find it, by
Yeah.
outsourcing things that you don't necessarily have to do yourself and letting somebody else do it, so you spend your
Yeah.
time doing something else.
And get testimonials from people who've used the
Yes,
service.
I wrote that down.
To
Yeah.
entrench the fact that this is not something that makes you any less of a virtuous woman. Because there's that burden of,
Yes.
I want to show that I'm doing everything
Superwoman.
well. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to Agbogloshi. Yes, I can wake up at 5 a.m., but at 5 a.m., Ajay Agbogloshi would have brought my stuff. So I don't have to do all of that myself. And it's still nice, it's fresh, it's healthy, it's helping me achieve my goal, but I don't do it myself. And it's not costing me an arm and a leg extra. It's still within my reach. So you can project that image very well. In terms of the brand, I know that you said you want your company to be a household name. Then it means that you need to be very consistent. Okay, so your names across all social media platforms should be consistent.
Okay.
When I Google Big Samps, I see all your nice images. But then I noticed that Facebook has a different name, Instagram has a different name. You should just be consistent with the name across all the
And you
different
think the
platforms.
name, because we need to wrap this and move to financing, you think the name Big Sam's works for this business?
If it's working for her, don't fix it if
She's
it's not
emotionally
broken.
attached to it.
But I felt that it brings up an image of being a man. That was my thing. I was like, okay, well, a young, nice lady, Elsie, want to project that the business is a man. It really
But
does.
I think the other question would be, would your target market feel comfortable with a Big Sam shopping for them
Yes, that was the
as
question.
against an Elsie
And an
shopping
Elsie
for them?
shopping for them.
And remember, and Frank is going to give you this lecture in a minute, this is a business. There's a reason why you're in business.
Yes.
And you can be emotionally attached to a name. But there are different ways of playing with that. It can become, and you would move to a limited liability entity, it can become the name of the entity. But the brand that people know and sell every day may have to be different to get you to where you want to go. So the big trucks may not have Big Sam's on it. They may have something else that speaks great foodstuffs, healthy, convenience, and Big Sam's may now be the company behind that holds it. So think about it.
Okay.
Let me bring Frank in.
And I think, let me just make the
Okay.
final comment. I think Ajay Agbogloshi is a very nice name.
I didn't want to give her any suggestions.
It's a nice, well, you can have it as a tagline. It has to be something that you try and project, because yes, that whole idea of going to Agbogloshi makes a lot of people feel they are superhuman, they are very very good, you know. So if you can make us feel that yes, the Agbogloshi prizes, so convenience at Agbogloshi prizes, you can project that a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with the name,
Yeah.
one thing about, so let's say Eja or something. One thing that's made me pull back, when we started, like, there wasn't a lot of this. Later, it's easy for you to copy. So
Yeah.
people start and you type Ja or
No,
something,
Ja is
and you
totally-
get a lot of people.
Did we suggest that?
I mean, so sometimes people suggest like a local name, but the local names,
Even Big Sam's may work, but it just may mean a lot more work. But just all we're saying is
Think about it.
step back. Don't be emotional about it.
Okay.
Think back. It's business. Don't put the emotional over what is going to make you money, and don't be emotionally attached to a name that, if it is the challenge, you don't want to let go. That's all we're saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying take a decision immediately. We're just
Okay.
saying take a step back and think through it a bit more.
Great. I mean,
Please remind her why she's in business.
oh,
And we
Your
may have
hobby
to
is to make
have to
money.
just do an introduction, and we take a break, and when we come back you launch into financing the big
Okay.
vision.
your hobby is to make the money. So there's really no point in having emotional things drive your decisions than making the money
Yes.
and growing big and leaving a legacy behind. So that's why you're in business.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we should focus on the legacy thing before, because then when we come back we do financing the big vision. Because I don't think she's realized what she's achieved. And so if you tie it to the big legacy, and you were asking her a question at some point.
So I wanted you to, like, in the long run, you want a name, or you want a business that will live after you,
Yes.
and you want a business that will come to everybody's mind whenever they think of going to buy groceries. Okay, so in doing that, you need to put up some structures that would that would always create that image and give you that brand equity of if I'm going to shop, then I come to you first. If I don't get you, then I'll think of other alternatives. For instance, convenience, as you said, is the biggest thing to sell.
Yeah.
And to sell that, look at what it costs to go to Medina markets and all those things. Push that agenda big, and let's move on.
So if you got a job offer from a big bank
Oh, okay.
tomorrow, head of sales and marketing, would you? She's already shaking her head before answering.
I won't take it.
You'd rather do this.
Yes.
So we're in business. Okay. So we're going to go on a break, and when we come back, we really, really need to talk about getting these trucks, financing the big vision of Big Samps Market. So please stay with us, and we'll be back very shortly.
Immediately the product was actually introduced to me, I wanted to get on it, and that was the Gold Check account, guys. This has actually changed my business. So on the First National Bank app, you have the business toolkits that gives you all the information that you need to run your business, and whatever inquiries you have, they're always ready to answer, and that makes life very easy for me. And you have the in contacts that helps you access every transaction that takes place or happens. Now, point of sales terminal. I market wherever I go, and so I love to have that so I can take payment, especially with those who tell me I do not have cash. A bank that understands that you can start life all over again or start a business from scratch. Very keen on running it and making sure that you grow to the core. It's one you should look out for. My name is Jifa Bekre Gray, the CEO of Jifa Gray Creations. I recommend that you sign up to the Gold Check account from First National Bank for a great banking experience.